storms, but right now we have one to the north. This has the potential for half-dollar size hail, which is a little larger than a quarter. This one is moving into the Peyton area, so I would avoid Highway 24 from Falcon through the El Paso County line. It's just moved out of Black Forest. We have this southern storm that just moved out of the Colorado Springs Airport and Powers corridor, now moving through Schriever. This one has had observed half-dollar hailstones in it, and that one also has potential of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And we have now had a severe thunderstorm watch issued with these storms sparking off in El Paso County. This is the first of many rounds to come. I'm expecting severe weather to last tonight. This doesn't expire until 1 a.m. So we're still looking at multiple rounds of severe weather. These first few showers are starting to work their way through El Paso County, but watch County this afternoon. Thank you, Jennifer and Mountain Shadows, for sharing your perspective of the hail falling down today in copious amounts at Powers and Arrow Plaza. Linda captured the hail in her backyard to 1 inch in diameter, and we had larger than a quarter size at Chelton and Jetwing. Thank you, Annette, and I'm so sorry, Annette, that you had this large hail today. So a quarter is 1 inch in diameter, and that's the baseline for a severe thunderstorm warning. And of course, it goes up from there. Of course, those hailstones look a little larger, closer to ping pong ball size, which would be 1.5 inches. So we have 3 storms that are currently warned in El Paso County. Let's go through them all. This northern storm that is moving through Peyton right now, large hail core just north of Highway 24, has, and now the latest scan shows it moving through Highway 24. This has the potential for half-dollar size hailstones, a little larger than a quarter. I would avoid Highway 24 between Peyton and Rama. Also, this storm just south of Highway 94, Ellicott Highway. This storm is starting to move out of the Schriever area, and this one also has the potential for half-dollar size hailstones, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then our newest storm is just rolling off the hills right now, moving into Colorado Springs. So this will be our second round of hail moving through downtown and the central part of town. This one also has the potential for up to half-dollar size hailstones. So these storms so far are all performing very similarly. Copious amounts of small hail. A few of those stones are going to be larger, a quarter, which is 1 inch in diameter, or larger. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch. This goes until 1 a.m. So this first round of storms moving through El Paso County right now is just the start. What I'm going to be watching for tonight is a cold front surging our moisture westward. Once that moisture is pushed up against the mountains, it's going to trigger nighttime thunderstorms. Once those form, we're looking at a very large hail threat for tonight. So this first round of storms is kind of typical for us. We get a few rounds coming off the mountains, moving east into the plains, and a mid to late afternoon time frame. But watch, as this cold front surges in tonight, 10:15, we've got a burst of thunderstorm activity, which are possible as far south as Walsenburg, but also as far north as Colorado Springs still. These storms late at night could have up to 2 to 3 inch hailstones and 70 to 80 mile-per-hour wind gusts. After they form towards I-25, they'll drift into the plains, and then they will start to decrease in intensity overnight.
I'm Diane Derby along with meteorologist Alex O'Brien. So Alex, where are the storms right now?
They're still confined to El Paso County for the most part, but that's not going to be the case all night long. So to half-dollar ping pong ball size from Chelton and Jetwing. From the first round of storms, there was a second round that moved through that area, which looked a little bit bigger. Colorado Springs downtown, that looks like golf ball size to me. Carl has pretty big hand, so that looks rather large. So these storms are coming to fruition, and they are definitely verifying with their large hail already today. So let's zoom in on the current warnings we have. So this one that's now starting to move into Pueblo County, hailstones have been between about quarter size to golf ball size. So far, it's only been in El Paso County. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that extends in the pink zones until 1 a.m. So we are by far not done with the storms today. I'm tracking another surge in thunderstorms developing after dark. I'll highlight when that happens coming up.
Alex, thank you.
Rounds of hail move through Colorado Springs and El Paso County this afternoon. This was our first round of storms that moved through mountain shadows. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing the copious amounts of coin-sized hail that you saw at your home. Some of the top reports of hailstones here in El Paso County today have been ping pong to golf ball size. That's what the storms seem to still be producing at this hour. Got a nice cluster of storms moving out of our area north of I-70. Still a couple of storms in our immediate area and our News 5 viewing area. This thunderstorm that is east of Fountain moving towards the Hanover area has the potential for 1-inch in diameter hailstones and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This warning goes until at least 6:45. I'm seeing it kind of tighten up and gain its organization, and that would lead to an increase in hail size. So I'll watch for that potentially getting a little larger than 1 inch in diameter. This storm that is literally moving right over the Pueblo radar. That's why you can't see that circle around it, where the radar beam is literally circling around. That has up to ping pong ball size hailstones, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. There has been a report of ping pong ball size stones south of Truckton with this storm as it moved through earlier. So I would not be surprised if that's still occurring within that storm. For Pueblo County, this one is going until 6:45. So far today, this has been a very typical timing for thunderstorms, mid to late afternoon. But look at our severe thunderstorm watch. It goes until 1 a.m. And that's because I'm expecting another round of storms tonight, potentially an even stronger round that will give us large hail and strong wind gusts. And that's because a cold front's coming in. It's going to give us a surge of moisture tonight, and that will trigger another round of storms, potentially with 2 to 3 inch in diameter hail and wind gusts of 60 to as high as 70 miles per hour. So these are the storms that we've been watching here this afternoon. This is kind of our typical daytime thunderstorm activity. But watch tonight. After about 10 o'clock, we'll see that nighttime round of storms. Consistently, we've seen these forming between Pueblo and Walsenburg in this particular forecast model. This forecast model has done pretty good with the thunderstorm activity in El Paso County today. Once these storms move east into the plains, of course, they'll still keep their strength. And these storms could last late into the night, 1-2 a.m. before they start to lose their strength. The severe thunderstorm watch will expire, but still some rain and nighttime thunderstorms will be possible, just lower intensity. Tonight we'll drop to the 50s and 60s, a humid night for us. On Wednesday, temperatures will be to the 80s across the region. And tomorrow, still a risk of so almost double that. So definitely ping pong to golf ball sized hailstones. So we still have a couple of strong storms in our area. Right now, I'm happy to see that this storm is starting to weaken. It's moving into Crowley County, but I would not be surprised if this warning expires with the state of this storm currently, but this one has had a history of ping pong ball size hailstones. The next storm I'm a little bit more concerned about is this one, still located in El Paso County in the Hanover area. That one went up from 1-inch hailstones to 1 1/4 inch in diameter, which
Throughout the week, we want to make sure you're ready for it.
So News 5 meteorologist Lauren Brand explains the difference between a watch and a warning, so you know what to do. Hail today, mostly in El Paso County. A couple rounds of storms have moved through the Colorado Springs area. This was the first round from Chelton and Jetwing. Thank you, Annette, for sharing, and I'm sorry this hail fell at your house. There's been damage reported today from these large hailstones. Downtown Colorado Springs, this hailstone did damage to cars, with the windshield cracking on, unfortunately, our photojournalist's car. Thank you, Carl, for going outside after that storm, grabbing that hailstone and snapping a picture. I do not recommend you ever go outside during a storm, by the way. If you do share photos with us, that's very much appreciated. I will send most of them to the National Weather Service to come to fruition as storm reports, but please only do that after the storm has passed. It's okay if the hailstone melts a little bit. So we've got a couple storms here. This one that's moving through Hanover right now is our strongest currently. This severe thunderstorm warning has been extended until 7:30 p.m. Once it moves into Pueblo County, we'll start to see things start to lighten up in El Paso County after that. But this particular warning has ping pong ball size hailstones, 60-mile-per-hour wind. And again, this storm in Crowley County is starting to weaken a little bit. However, it could resurge. There's still plenty of juice in the atmosphere to reinvigorate that storm later, so I'll continue to monitor it. We have a severe thunderstorm watch for the counties in pink, but this expires at 1 a.m. So this is just our first round of storms. I'm expecting a potentially stronger round to develop tonight after dark, and that's because we have a cold front that's going to help to push our really humid air up against the mountains. Once it does that, it's going to be forced to create more thunderstorms, and then we'll have an overnight hail threat for portions of I-25 and our adjacent eastern plains. So we've got the active storms right now that could lose some of their strength here in the next couple of hours. But that's a false sense of security. Once we get into the overnight, that's when that secondary round starts to form. This is 10:15, and we've got hail possible between Walsenburg and Pueblo according to this forecast model. This could be a little further north, could be a little further south. I am most concerned between Walsenburg, Pueblo, and Colorado Springs here for tonight. These storms will strengthen, giving us the potential of 1 to 3 inch in diameter hailstones and wind gusts from 60 to 70 miles